Hi everyone, and welcome to another video of Terraform. My name is Tia from DevOps Easy Learning, and today we'll be going through Terraform Console Part 2, right? I mean, we have Part 1 already, and I'll also make sure that I put a link to Terraform Console Part 1 to the link to the description of this one, right? If you click here, it's just going to take me to my GitHub repository where I have some sample code that we'll be using to go through this little example, right? And if you want to follow exactly what I'm doing, please feel free to check out this code on your local machine, and you can open this specific folder and follow the same steps, right? Now, Terraform console, well, what is this, right? It's just a little tool in Terraform that we use to evaluate expression, right? And I find this very, very useful. When I kind of start doing something in the real world, I just kind of struggle a little bit. And that is why when I find this, it helped me a lot to understand some syntax. Now, what are we going to do today? We'll be working with, in this folder here called the element function. That means we're trying to evaluate some syntax here using the element function. Let me go ahead, and I have the code already. I clone it down here, and I open that already in VS Code. And if I can click here, you guys will see that's exactly what I have in my GitHub account, right? I will go ahead and kind of open this thing in new integrated terminal here, and go ahead, kind of type Terraform init to initialize this. That is good. Now, let us see what we are going to do here. We can define just a variable here, which is any variable. In Terraform, when you define a variable and you say the type is equal any, it means here within the default, you can go ahead and kind of create a variable type list. You can create a variable type tuple. You can create a variable type map. You can create a variable type number, type string, and so on. A type any means it can take any type of variables. That is what it means. And that's what it means. Now, right here, let me go ahead and try to see what we are going to evaluate. If you click on the README file here, I will have a couple of stuff, and we want to use the element function. And let me open this one to the side and minimize this. As you can see, let's see you define a private subnet here and a public subnet here. And in your Terraform configuration, you want to get this private or public subnet somewhere to do something. Let's say you are trying to create an EC2 instance, and your goal here is to get the one of this subnet and create your EC2 instance within that subnet. How are you going to do that? Using the element function. And how are you going to also evaluate that using Terraform console? Here, when you tap element, you say var.context. If we see here, we say var, we say .context, which is this. And within var.context, we have all the default value. Which value do we want? We want to move to the private subnet, which means this guy here. We are going to the private subnets IDs. And what do we want? We want the first element in the list. If you want just this subnet ID, you grab the first element in the list. If you want just this one, you grab the second element. If you want this one, you grab the third element in the list. And this can be used to kind of get a specific subnet here that you want, just using the element function. Let us go ahead here and try to evaluate these expressions and see if we'll have exactly the same thing. If I say Terraform console, it will just take me to the Terraform console command line. And now I can copy the first element and try to evaluate that. If you hit here, as you guys can see, it can get the right subnet, which is this one. If you copy this tool and kind of paste it through the console and evaluate, as you guys can see, I am able to bring exactly this subnet and this one, right? I evaluate that. And when I put this one in my Terraform configuration code, I know so far that it is going to give me the right result. Also, let us check this one here. If you want to go ahead and evaluate and get all public subnet using the element function, what are you going to do? Same thing apply, right? we just go to var.context.publish subnet. We are going the first element in the list, the second, and the third element in the list. They always start with 0. And if you copy this, we can go to the console and try to evaluate that. If you paste that everything here and hit enter, as you guys can see, this kind of belongs to this one belongs to this one here, and this one belongs to this one, which is great. Now, let us now see how we can manage to get all the elements here within the tag using the Terraform console, right? Now, let me scroll down and see how we can get that. Those examples are just below here. Now, we start here. We just use the var.tags, var.context.tag. That means we say var.context and we say .tag. It is just going to get the whole tag. And if you copy this, if you want to get a whole tag, this is how you do that. If you paste it here, for instance, and hit enter, as you guys can see here, it brings out the entire tag right here. We have the entire tag right here. But let's say I just want to get some specific elements within the tag. What am I going to do? I use the var.context.tag, and let's say I want to get the cloud provider, which is this, right? Because here we have the key value pair. It's going to give me AWS, which means if you're trying to evaluate this, the output here, the outcome here will be what? AWS, cloud provider. And if you continue, this one, create by, that should be Terraform. Environment here, that should be dev. Let me try that. Run one more. Environment, it should be dev. As you guys can see, this is really, really useful for somebody that is still learning, right? And let's say you see some stuff like this, you don't know exactly what is going to print, you can go ahead and evaluate all those expressions, and you know exactly what the outcome would be before you fire up Terraform, right? As you guys can see, we print all this stuff here using the element function, and we are able here to get all elements within the tag. And you guys can continue and run all this team to test and see how it looks like. And that's it for this video. So if you have not yet subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and also please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and so on. Thank you. Bye-bye.